On a game 2 of the series. Again, this is losers bracket round 2. DevM versus Jove. DevM won game 1. If he wins this game, Jove is eliminated from the tournament, and he's playing as U.S. Forces. Even with Rifle Company banned, he is still going to pick U.S. Forces, which is definitely a breath of fresh air. We don't see a whole lot of USF in this tournament, although I know DevM has probably been playing them pretty much exclusively. Which just goes to show that people tend to have favorite factions that they practice with the most.
All right, you dopes, listen up.
And they might even use them kind of regardless of what the current meta is. Because it's the one that they just happen to have the most training with, and they still, even with certain bans, or with a certain balance situations, still probably think that they have the best possible chance of winning using that faction than they do using whatever the current tourney meta might be. So, DevM is a good example of that. He will be playing as USF here going into game 2. He's got 3 rifle opening, totally standard stuff against Jove's Oberkommando West, which I also want to point out. We're going to see both Western Front armies here. So, very strange. Not at all what I was expecting. I'm actually really happy about this, and I'm curious to see how it's going to go. Jove is going to go with a Kuba wagon. I'm expecting him to go tier 2 and get a bunch of infantry support guns if my current knowledge of the OKW meta is anything to go by, which it may not really be since I barely get to even see this faction picked. I also heard, but I'm not 100% sure even, that the flak half-track has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride of ninja changes, and I don't know if its current state is back to being pretty good, or if it's useless right now, or what is going on with the flak half-track anymore. I really can't keep track of that unit. I don't know. So we might see tier 3 from Joe, we might see tier 2. I'm honestly totally at a loss for what might happen this game. Kuba wagon off to a pretty good start over here. Almost forcing that retreat. Fortunately, couldn't quite finish that squad off, or at least get it down low enough that DevM felt he had to get away, so he will be able to stick around and back cap with that wounded squad. And back capping with wounded squads is a really important component of any early game strategy. You always want to rotate your squads out of combat, but not retreat. You always want to soft retreat them out of danger or engagements that they've lost, and then go try to just take territory. Because that's a really, really good way to keep them relevant when you don't have healing. Oh, look at this. Sternpio is trying to pick up this wipe. He's trying to punish DevM for being so greedy about territory here. Support arrives just in time, and I think those Sternpios have no choice now but to retreat. There they go. Kuba wagon couldn't quite get in range to support in time, but it does suppress that squad, so they'll at least probably get away without getting wiped unless DevM gets another miracle RNG on his rear echelon troops, which he will not. Stern Pioneers are going to be just fine. They get back to base. Folks Grenadiers, meanwhile, taking control of the entire right side unopposed, so the map control situation is not terrible. OKW generally operates in a low fuel environment for a little while. And Jove has not suffered any wipes. Has taken quite a bit of bleed though. 10-4, and I think a significant number of those 10 kills are on Sternpios, so costly. Tier 3 going up in the base, and I think DevM just spotted that. Kuba wagon's available to protect though. It'll probably complete, right? Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. The base defenses are gonna protect him, I think, if these infantry get any closer. Stern Pioneers are on their way. Yeah, that's definitely going to complete. In fact, he kind of baited DevM into overextending himself right there with that placement. That might have actually been a good thing for him, forcing those 2 retreats. Even though both squads are at pretty good health, that might translate into a nice little bit of map control for him. Folks Grenadiers over here on the left side against the Lieutenant. Have to throw this incendiary grenade. It will do a little damage, but I think the Lieutenant will win this engagement. Kuba wagon fully repaired, making its way to the left. So Jove went tier 3, activated fuel transfer. This leads me to believe that he considers the flag half-track to be a worthwhile purchase. So, guess we'll figure out how that goes. M20 on the field after Lieutenant Tier, pretty standard stuff. 3 rifles in the M20 is tried and tested. U.S. Forces build, nothing new here. Ambulance out as well to give him healing. Ambulance has been changed sort of recently. It's no longer a duration ability, it's a toggle ability, which is kind of neat, I guess. And I believe that the purpose of that change was to discourage blobbing. You don't have to heal all your forces at once. You can just turn it on and always have healing going in your base. I think it's a good change. It's a subtle change, but I like it.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
Ambulance change also gives USF the best healing in the game. I think USF already had the best healing in the game. Until maybe UKF. Now maybe UKF has the best healing in the game. I think UKF's ability to heal anywhere, anytime, in an AoE, and quite early, for no fuel cost, is actually really good. So I don't know if I completely agree with that statement. Lieutenant wins this engagement over here on the left, and he did not go flag half track. He went Puma to counter M20, which is always kind of a dangerous thing to do. By going Puma, he forces his opponent to probably go Captain Tier instead of Major, though, because it's going to be out forever. And another thing is that Jove going Puma. Puma's always been kind of an all-in unit as Over Commander West. You can't really afford anything after you get it. It's so expensive. It completely removes your ability to tech Tier 4. It removes any ability usually to get any other vehicles of any kind except for probably the Ostwin. So Puma into Scavenge Doctrine is going to be his strategy here. I think it has potential, though, against a Tier 1 US Forces build. It's just going to probably struggle until Jove gets the actual Ostwin down. Once he's got an Ostwin or maybe 2 Ostwins on the field, he'll be in a better situation, and then he's going to have to try and figure a way to survive against DevM's tanks. And DevM having really commanding map control for pretty much the entire game means tanks are not that far away. So I think DevM just has to decide if he wants to go Captain or Major next. If he goes all in on a Major but gets out-microed by the Puma and his Shermans get popped by Raketenwerfer, Puma, maybe they overextend themselves trying to chase down Ostwins. He could be in a really dangerous situation, because if he has no AT guns or bazookas or anything like that, he might not be able to counter Ostwins if his Shermans can't outproduce them. So his decision now of whether to go Major or Captain is going to be very important. Looks like he might get this pickup. Oh, nice smoke! The Puma popped smoke to let that squad escape. Very nice maneuver right there. That's expensive to do. Probably worth it to save that infantry squad, though. 30 munitions for Over Commander West is not cheap. Left side, Folks Grenadiers in green cover again. Probably going to get run down by these riflemen again.
Taking effective fire! Cover! Battle promotion! I need cover!
Incendiary Grenade actually might have turned that engagement, and now they're going to retreat through it. No, they'll be alright. Kuba Wagon in an engagement over here on the right side is just light damage against this structure. He's really struggling in building engagements because he does have infiltration grenades now, but he's been throwing a lot of incendiary grenades. He had to pop smoke on his Puma at least once. This all gets very expensive. Jaeger's deployed out of the shed, setting up in a green cover position on the right side to try and lay more firepower on the riflemen in this building that are just stalling and holding the line. The M20 moves up to try and force them away. The Puma is circling back to try and help deal with that. I wonder if the M20 has planted any M6 mines. I don't see any. So I don't think there are any serious threats to the Puma. around. Surprisingly low number of mines between both of these players in this series. I guess they're just not big on mines. Jove got himself a minesweeper, which is a kind of a obviously good idea as OKW when your Puma can get one-shotted by a US mine and it gives you a bonus repair speed. I don't know why you would not get a minesweeper. Captain is out. Alright, so DevM has gone with Captain. That's the safer choice. I guess he doesn't think his map control is quite good enough to justify trying to overwhelm his opponent with Shermans. He's going to play a little slower, a little safer. So 60 fuel into the Captain, getting a Steward out now. With the bazookas on the Captain and the Steward, he should be able to hunt and destroy this Puma if it gets caught out of position too long. It looks like DevM has lost building control over here on the right side. Everything is going to be forced to retreat, and now Jaeger Light Infantry Sturms folks will be able to start taking territory over here. Opposed only by this M20. No infantry base anti-tank over here yet. Jove has not yet got the munitions together for a Panzerschreck. So
vehicle has gone static. HQ operations now underway.
Grenadiers back to full strength.
Target that infantry!
you feel like everyone who's turning is playing for cash? Well, of course they are. What does that statement even mean? Do you think anybody is gonna like win this tournament and just give the money back and be like, I didn't want the money, I was just having a good time? Well, I mean, it's possible to do two things. It's possible to sign up for a tournament and like have fun in the tournament and also want to win like thousands of dollars. I think both of those things can be true. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to win money in a tournament. If I were good enough to win money in Operation Charlie Fox, I would have signed up to do exactly that. The only reason I haven't is because, like probably everybody here, you realize that there is no realistic possibility of that. And so, you don't. But if there were, you would. You wouldn't like sit on some high horse and be like, no, I'm bigger than all that. I'm not about money. It's far too distasteful. Uh-oh. Oh no! Stuart just sniped the Kuba wagon right there. Vet 2 Kuba wagon. It's OMG Pop, in fact, that showed me my very first ever tournament Vet 5 Kuba wagon. Unfortunately, Jove was not able to match that. Puma is up to Vet 1, still 0 kills, but just, you know, damaging these light vehicles to the best of its ability. With the Captain protecting them, he's really struggling now to get in range. And he's losing a lot of map control, so it looks like Captain Tier was a really good call. He's going to gain in VPs and in fuel back everything he spent on Captain Tier here, just by locking Jove completely into his base in the north. Oh, Lumpy, so what you're saying is that OMG Pop hasn't done anything that everybody else is not also doing? Okay. I misinterpreted your comment. Well, yeah, then I'm right there with you.
Task complete.
Looks like this series might already be over. I don't know how Jove could turn this around. He's 50 fuel from an Ostwind. A second Steward is in production? Now that's interesting. T-70 spam won OMG Pop's game versus Love Nest yesterday. Light vehicles seem to really have a presence in high-level play. That being said, I don't think a second Steward is necessary in quite the same way that multiple T-70s helped Pop. Pop needed them. He really did need them because they kept dying. to keep the pressure up and make sure Love Nest never got out of his base sector again. Whereas DevM probably does not need this second Stuart, but I guess by having it out, he'll have that much more firepower and health to work with against this Puma and just solidify his hold on the map, which is faltering slightly. A couple squads taking control of the left side VP and fuel now. Tier 3 structure's actually in danger here. Puma is receiving slow repairs. It's going to pull back just to be safe.
Our supply lines have been cut. Americans are
Bazookas actually do quite good DPS, even though they their damage and penetration and stuff is not great. They have a really high rate of fire, so they're really good against OKW trucks if just left to fire as often as they'd like. And it looks like that might even be destroyed. 50 cal moves up to lock Jove in. Riflemen chase Volksgrenadiers away over here on the right side. And losing this probably doesn't actually matter that much because he doesn't intend to make any further units out of it.
mechanized regimental HQ has been destroyed.
But I definitely think this game is lost. Double shell shock to keep that Puma stunned all day long. It will not escape. And even if it did survive, I don't think that it had the means to salvage this game. And there you have it, Jove will concede. 17-minute victory as allies for DevM there in Game 2, and he'll take the series! Well played by DevM. Jove has been eliminated completely from the main event. And DevM will advance to fight, I believe, against Loveness. GG. US Forces wins.